Hello and good afternoon, everyone. I wish to appreciate us for coming and on time. I think we have a reputable number now and we can kickstart the meeting. This is an event of NCS, Nigerian Computer Society, Abuja chapter. And we have tagged it Techies Hangout. So, and as you can see, the event is the third version of it. We have had the first version, which was physical, and the second one, it was virtual like this, which is the third one of it is virtual also, because of the constraint of the COVID-19 that has hit us. So thank you very much for coming, and I hope that we're going to have a great experience with the topic that we have, leveraging virtual technology for workforce development. Quickly, I will go to the agenda for today, which is at 2:05, starting with the opening prayer. So because we are Nigerians, so we recite the second stanza of the national anthem. So we can unmute ourselves and let us chorus it together. 1, 2, go. O God of creation, direct our noble course, guide our leaders right, offer you to truth to know, love and honesty to grow, and living just and true. Great love to attain, where peace and justice shall reign.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, thank you very much. We want to try as much as possible to keep it within 1 hour and maximum of it 1.5 hours. So we'll be so snappy in things that we do. Quickly, let me go to the chairman's opening remark. Yeah, I've welcomed you, and it won't be enough to welcome you again. So welcome again to this event, and we really appreciate you, because if you come for an event and people don't show up, it's something else entirely. Yeah, thank you very much for participating in it. Why the Techies Hangout? The Techies Hangout initiative come up with the idea that the techies, as we that work in the information technology, we need to come together to interact with ourselves. It came up with an idea of let's just get out of our busy schedules and just hang out together. But we have a diversification of it too, that we say, okay, let us come together and learn from ourselves. Let us call our IT experts, our industry experts, to discuss certain topics that we can have diverse opinion about it. And at the end of the day, we'll come up with a communique that will say, okay, this is our stand about this. And God helping us, the first one that we had a topic, which is robot versus human, who gets the next job. Yeah, this one was very well acclaimed, that it's actually a topic for that time. Yeah, and also this one was a physical event, but when the COVID-19 hit us, so we have to go to virtual for the second edition. When the time was that the national identity become issues of discussion. So we discussed identity and access management in developing economies that time. And now, today we have come to discuss leveraging virtual technology for workforce development. Now, this one comes because COVID-19 has forced everyone to go online. Businesses are closing. Some businesses that have been looking up to, oh, how can we work without coming to office before? They are still coping, and some of them are thriving. So we have invited some of our members that we know that, okay, they are experienced in these areas. Some of them, they have their businesses. Some of them, they are having, they are holding a position in the government space. So we hope that their experiences will help us in this Techies Hangout fashion today. So let us feel relaxed and learn. We can also contribute when the time comes. So then I will say again that we should participate in it. We will give enough room for us to participate, to talk. Then if you are not a member of NCS, we're using this opportunity to invite you to join us. It's always good. This is your locality. When you are practicing and you are not with the people that matter in the industry, it usually has some disadvantages. So join us. Then let us have respect for one another as we have the meeting. So thank you very much for coming, and we proceed into the meeting now. Our moderator is in the meeting and is indisposed to join. So quickly, I will go to a special remark by the Deputy National President. I don't think he's in now. Maybe, okay. We push that one to when he joins us. So we go to the topic of the discussion for today, and which is leveraging virtual technology for workforce development. So we have the panelists with us, and I'll take the introduction from the first that we see on the screen. So Mr. Ima Inyagudo. Yeah. Mr. Ima Inyagudo, okay. It's not joining yet. Then out is Capricorn Marine Technologist. Then Mr. Victor Idono is a founder and Director General of CSEC NG, Cybersecurity Challenge, of Nigeria. So he's one of our panelists today. And Dr. Kehinde Samuel, she's the Assistant Chief Program Analyst of NASENI. Yeah, then we have Mr. Rex Abitogun. He's the lead consultant and the Chief Executive Officer of the Management Edge Limited. If you are a member of NCS Abuja chapter, you should have known him very well. He's actually the immediate past chairman that handed over to us, and he has been doing a great job with us. So those are the four panelists that we have, and because of our time, so what we do is that we give them 4 minutes to, 10 minutes each to present their views on the topic, after which we throw the questions to the floor or comment from the floor about the topic to go to. So Mr. Ima Inyagudo is not here, so I will take it in the order that we have. Mr. Victor Idono. So we'll take you first. You can unmute yourself and Fire Hunter. We'd like to see your video too.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'm Victor Idono by name, and basically, we will be talking about leveraging technology for, development when it comes to the workforce environment, that is, in the work space. Now, most times, a lot of persons talk about the COVID-19 thing, and all that comes to mind is how do we move our businesses and our engagement to the, to internet, remote engagement. And this is very, very critical because every business as of today are moving to the internet. Most of them have moved, and the COVID-19 actually opened a lot of us to a wide range of opportunities. Now, two things happened. When the pandemic broke out, some organizations were able to swiftly move, and they actually made impact with their businesses. Some new businesses actually erupted, while others that were unable to switch, leveraging on technology, they were actually kind of disrupted. So it's a thing of either you disrupt or you get disrupted. And that is exactly what happened. Now, for me personally, I would like to share my personal view. April 2020 was the most engaging year for me, engaging month for me. Reasons be that meetings were back to back. You're finishing from one meeting, you're switching to another one. And the moment one meeting is not holding, you could easily reschedule for another one. What that means is all engagement, everything will happening without let's travel to the office or let's drive down to the office, meet me in my office. I call it meet me today, see me tomorrow. That see me today, see me tomorrow was totally out of it. So in other words, we were able to identify core technologies that could help us in our work environment that will enable everyone work remotely. And that is what every organization or every workforce out there should implement. Identify your basic day-to-day activities. What are the tools that can make my work easier, that will make me work from anywhere, in as much as you have your mobile device. Today, there are technologies by Google, by AWS, that is Amazon Web Services, and all of these can actually enable you, including a Microsoft Office 365. So all of this can actually enable you to do your job remotely without having to be in a particular physical location. That is, you can work on the go with multiple or any kind of devices you may have, be it mobile, be it a tablet, be it a PC, be it just a phone. In as much as it's a smart device, you can actually connect and you work on the go. So to actually leverage on the topic we are speaking on today is every workforce out there or every organization should be able to identify their primary objectives, and they should find tools, technologies to enhance their productivity remotely. Today, when you talk about all the various categories of industry that exist, be it the financial sector, the entertainment industry, the telecoms, name it, there are various tools available today that could enable or that can enable efficient remote work in your office or in their various job roles. And this is what we are supposed to key into. And this is what a lot of organizations have been able to key into over the years and over the months, and it really, really helped them. It's either going to increase your efficiency or it's going to lower your efficiency. Now, yesterday I was speaking with someone. The person came to me for an engagement, and I asked the person simple questions. Throughout the period of lockdown, you have a PC? He said, yes. What were you doing with the PC? he said he wasn't doing anything. The PC was just there. So I now asked a simple question. During the lockdown, there were a series of online courses that were reasonably discounted. Some were even made free. A lot of free coupons were being made available. It means the entire period of the lockdown, you couldn't utilize any free time or any engagement to at least acquire a skill online. So that also comes to tell us, or get to tell us that, look, at whatever free time we have, there are a lot of online engagement trainings that would give us the avenue to actually acquire more knowledge, acquire more certifications, acquire more skills. And it is just a little effort from our end to actually key into them. Because the more you learn about them, the more it is easier for you to understand how these things can help you get your job done faster and in a more efficient form. So you can actually leverage on a lot of technologies from Microsoft Office 365, Zoom, like what we are using right now. Before now, if you're having a program like this, there must be a physical engagement. The next thing we are talking about how to pay for venue. We're talking about how to converge persons. We're talking about how to do hall decoration, how to do this, how to do that. Now, a lot of cost has been pushed aside. That brings us to the advantages of utilizing or leveraging on these technologies. There is a need to leverage on them, and the benefits actually outweighs our inabilities to use them. So it is very, very necessary for every organization, no matter your position in that organization, for you to identify how to use technology to impact your own immediate task, your own immediate job role. What is your job role? What is my job role? How do I use technology to make the work efficient in that I can deliver anytime, any day? If the major thing is power, like we have in Nigeria, a lot of persons then was issue of power and internet connectivity. Then you focus on them. They are like your hoe and your cutlass when you're relating it to a local farmer. So in a situation where you find yourself in an environment as this, or in an age of this era where everything you have to do majorly have to do with the internet and power, you should be able to provide alternatives for this. And you could do subscription. Like most times I always tell people, for example, there are packages that could give you 2 days interval for like 2.5 gig as low as 500 naira. So with 500 naira, you can have access to 2.5 gig of data that could enable you watch any video of any length, educational video, interactive video that will impact knowledge to you. But most times people prefer to use their data to watch irrelevant things online or more for entertainment instead of knowledge-based or work related. So these are the few things we have to look at. Because of our time, I can't really go in detail into them, but the takeaway from this presentation, while we will be expecting your questions, we can also assist, right? If peradventure you don't know the kind of technologies or the kind of tools or the kind of online softwares, applications, tools that could make your job easier, you could just post it as a question on the comment box or during the interactive session. Ask us, this and this is my kind of job. How or what are the kind of tools or applications or technologies can I deploy or implement to actually make my job easier? We will be happy to, come in terms with you and give you solutions that could actually make impact to make your work easier. Because that's one of the things we did during the lockdown. It was really, really busy for us because we are trying hard to meet every of our customers' needs. So we were preferring solutions that could aid in remote job or remote work engagement, increase efficiency in every job role, no matter the position you occupy. There are some offices that from the management to as low as the secretary, everybody we are engaged. We have to put them in pipeline. So in this webinar or in this seminar, this hangout, we can actually also talk about these tools. What are the tools available? So all you just need to do is think of your job role, present it to us. We are here. Every one of us are techies. And that is why NCS is here putting up this program for every one of us. We will profile solutions, technologies, softwares, applications online that are running to help you make your work a whole lot faster. Thank you very, very much for listening.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Victor. Yeah, he has been able to share his experience with us. And one thing that I find important there is actually the learning. Personally, I learned a lot during this lockdown because any opportunity, any link I see, any meeting I see to join, I join it. I can be doing anything I'm doing, I'm still be joining to learn from other aspects. So thank you for your submission about that. Yeah, so I will call on Dr. Kehinde Samuel to take a point now. Submission. Dr. Kehinde, you can unmute. Yeah. Good afternoon, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay. Good afternoon, professional colleagues. I am Dr. Mrs. Kehinde Samuel Ajikaye. I want to quickly seize this opportunity to appreciate the leadership of Nigeria Computer Society, Abuja chapter. Especially, I want to appreciate the president in person of Mr. Shegun Malabi. Thank you for this privilege. I also want to use this opportunity to appreciate my former boss, Mr. Rex. Mr. Rex was my manager when I joined AFRIOB in 2008. Today, we are discussing a topic titled Leveraging Virtual Technology for Workforce Development. There are a number of ways in which we can leverage on virtual technology for workforce development. One of the ways which I would love to talk about this afternoon is leveraging on virtual technology for employee capacity development, leveraging on virtual technology for workplace and work process development digitization, leveraging on virtual technology to work from home. For leveraging on virtual technology for employee capacity development, you will agree with me that the quality of any organization is a function of the quality of its staff. And the quality of each staff is also a function of the quality of training received. For efficiency, for productivity, there is need for capacity development. Traditionally, the kind of training we are used to is physical training, either by inviting personnel to train the workforce or by sending employees abroad for training. But with the advent of COVID-19, this has not been the case. Now, organizations are now moving, while some have already moved, they are now leveraging on virtual technologies for training because you will agree with me that capacity building is core in every organization for productivity. Virtual technologies have improved and they've also increased in the course of this COVID-19. Virtual technologies can be leveraged on by both the people in the private institution and those of us in the public institution to deliver needed training to the workforce. A number of training organizations are already embracing a virtual method of training. With this, employees are trained virtually. The trainees delivered are the same. They have the same quality, the same feel, the same experience, just like the trainees that we are used to. According to a recent report from Cisco, 2/3 of the global internet traffic was video since the beginning of COVID till now. This goes a long way to tell you that organizations have already moved from the physical conversation into the factual. What is the advantage of this as regards training? It saves the cost of transporting, or for me, I say the cost of traveling, the cost of accommodating your employees when you have to travel for one training or the other, because now you don't have to travel, the training is being done virtually. More staffs can be trained. Since it's a virtual training, you can just connect from wherever you are. And then more trainings can be received because of the cost effectiveness of virtual training compared to physical training. And for the special case of those of us in the public sector, where little or no international trainings are allowed even before the COVID, rather we are mandated to seek training locally. We can now leverage on virtual technology to seek for special training that we cannot source for locally. Reason being that there are some training, you will agree with me, that we don't have experts in the country to train us. The beauty of leveraging on virtual technology for training is that on a large scale, workforce quality have been improved, and we are also referring to those of us in the public sector, we're also not flaunting the rules which restrict us from seeking training outside of the locality. And since the training is virtual, like I said, more staff can participate. An excuse that could come up is, we have low bandwidth. Here is the good news. Just like I said initially, that the technologies have improved and they've increased. They allow very little bandwidth for flexibility and efficiency. Coming to workplace and work process development digitization, any organization in this knowledge economy should have at least a work presence. The organization website should be the first point of contact where some basic parts of the organization processes can be accessed, especially for customer-facing organizations, for even regulatory organizations, for private individuals. The website should be optimized in such a way that keyword search are optimized in a way that, okay, for instance, I come into the country, I want to know the experts in the area of satellite. When I search within the country, I should see organizations like Nigeria Communication Satellite. For space, I should see NASDAQ. For frequency licensing, I should see organizations like NCC on top of the list. For infrastructure, I should see organizations like NASENI on top of the list. But the truth is, if we have no web presence, when you search for these things, you might not see us. Before I continue, there's an organization called NIRA, that's Nigeria Internet Registration Association. I think there's a need for NIRA and Corporate Affairs Commission to have some level of collaboration in a way to have an agreement that any company or any legal entity in Nigeria, as part of its policy, should have a web presence. That way, we can promote our top-level domain. We can begin to see the ease of doing business in the country, and we can begin to see a level of efficiency and also increase our web presence ranking globally. Now, coming back to our discussion, when a level of an organizational process can be accessed via the website, on-site visits will reduce. We saw that in the case of NIMC during the COVID, and a lot of persons needed to get their name. When the on-site visit became so much, NIM had NIMC had to come up with a process that allow you to do some level of your registration before you come on site. And we all saw the result of that. Just as the private organizations, because you will agree with me that a lot of private organizations already embrace this. It is also important for those of us in the public sector to have a digital process internally for our daily activities, for file movement, as small as file movement between the departments are. We should begin to see digitization in our workflow. As little as email communication is, this is not a common occurrence in many organizations. And in few cases where you even see this happen, you see people using the public email for communication of official duties. This shouldn't be so. There's an there's a process called enterprise resource planning. This can be deployed in each organization for the digitization of their processes. It helps to automate business functions. It promotes efficiency in the workplace. This can be deployed by any of the departments, but the beauty is, irrespective of the department that deployed it, everyone can use it. And with this, business communication will move with the speed of thought. This is where I think we should start for. Head of organizations should begin to consciously embrace technology, and at the same time, enforce certain process to be digitalized. Maybe we can start from the email communication. This way, the workflow can begin to flow into the cyberspace, and at the same time, complement the web presence, which I earlier proposed. We will now begin to see how this will affect productivity in the place of work. Not only productivity, it will also affect revenue generation. Now, coming to work from home, the first thing you should talk about before talking about working from home is the workforce. Do they really know how to use the tools to work from home? That's where you should start from. Before you will expect your employee to work from home, you need to have taught the employee how to use the tools available to work from home. There was an experience during the COVID. I joined a meeting just like this. Every other person joined. You will see a large number of people, but the truth is they couldn't hear us and we couldn't hear them. Why? They were connected because there was a link to connect, but they didn't know how to call in. So they were connected, but they could not access the audio. Neither could they. I think they could also see us. I don't know. So they were complaining. Some sent tests. I don't know. They found out how to send messages, and then they send messages. We can't hear. We can't hear. We can't hear. And then the host was trying to find out why they can't hear. I had to private chat the host. Yes, they are connected, but they've not called in. So try to tell them how to call in. So as little as that is, they couldn't find their way around it. So you could now tell me someone who couldn't do that. If you now have a higher, if you need to use a more sophisticated tool, how would the person be able to survive around it? So I think the first thing is teach them how to use the different tools. And you will agree with me that what Zoom will do is not the same thing that Google Drive will do. So they need to know the different function of each tool that is available for use. WebEx and the likes of them. And I think my time is up. So overall, leveraging on virtual technology to work from home or from wherever will improve productivity, and at the same time, there will be increase in revenue generation for those who are meant to generate revenue. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Kainde. Yeah, thank you, your submission. Yeah, I took from there too that the virtual capacity development, yeah, it saves money, it saves government money and even businesses. And there's increase in online presence for government and businesses. Then it promotes automation also. So without wasting much time, let me go to Mr. Ima Inyagudo. Is in now. So we take your submission on the topic now. You're welcome.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. And existing protocols. I really want to thank my very dear friend Shegun for roping me into this. He has been trying to get me to do this for a while. And it's actually my pleasure to do it, really, but sometimes every once in a while I need to be forced. As the case where. Very much. Frankly, leveraging virtual technology. Honestly, you see, I don't know whether 10 minutes would be enough, so I'm going to try to rush through as much as I can. Shegun, please bear with me. You know that when I lecture, I always get carried away. Please feel free to rein me in as the case. Right. As the case requires. The fact of the matter is this. Thank God for COVID. I mean, everybody's going to go crazy with that statement, but the truth of the matter is, thank God for COVID. For those of us who in the IT sector, okay, I just recently moved from the IT sector, but I'm still IT inclined, quote unquote. For those of us who've been in the industry for years now, we have been preaching, we have been begging, we have been crying. There's nothing we've not done towards getting a certain portion of the workforce to go virtual. And you know, it fell on deaf ears. It was all about how many places you can travel to, how many times you have to travel, whether local, whether in-house, you know. And this is just with regards to training. Now, training is one aspect of the entire big picture, you know, because when you say technology, it's really just a widespread of covers.
Your audio is low.
Oh, you can't hear me? Can you hear me now?
Your audio.
Hello?
Oh, I can hear clearly. Yeah.
Can you hear me clearly now?
Yes, you can go on, sir.
Okay. No, I think Doctor couldn't hear me. Dr. Ma, can you hear me? Can everybody hear me?
Yes, I think it's better off now.
Yes, we can. We can hear you.
Right.
It's okay now. It's okay
okay.
now.
If Rex can hear me, everybody should be able to hear me. That's all. All right. So where was I? So like I was saying, you see, implementing technology across board, it goes well beyond just the training aspect. We're talking about utilization of biometrics. We're talking about having portals for dissemination of information. There's so many different aspects. I'm just going to try to pick on, you know, a little of everything across the board. So like I started with, thank God for COVID. Now, thank God for COVID because as Christians, we're taught to give thanks in all situations. All right? But then again, we found out that because of COVID, you can't travel. I mean, from like March 2019, almost about July or August, unless you had a private jet, you literally had to work from home. Now, everybody now gets back to the trainings that they have received, but they did not pay attention. Simple things as utilizing emails on the go, be it on your desktop, on your laptop, or on your handheld devices, now suddenly becomes very, very crucial. You know, in my current place of work, I'm going to just cite some actual examples. In my current place of work, in as much as everybody had emails, they were used to writing the paperwork. You know, you will write so that, quote unquote, so that Oga can sign. And I'm like, this, like I said, my current place of work, you know. And one thing that COVID changed was now everything you needed to write had to be sent via email. Now, if you excuse all the grammatical errors that are seen there, which everybody has to work on, you find out that they're now assimilating to that mindset. As of this year, I'm yet to see one physical page. It's just I can't show you my desk, but my desk is now for the first time since I started work here in March. I started work here in March 2020. For the first time, my table doesn't have any paper. You send me something via email, I approve via email, and you proceed to work with it as is. We're having trainings using web conferencing. There's social networking. We even have a podcast. There's a blog connected to our website where experienced staff are encouraged to just write. You know what? Just write about what you know. Just write it out and post it on. This is local to us, but you see, when they write it up, you find people who know something about it or do not know something about it, asking a couple of questions. And you see, each time you are asked a question and you answer that question, you that's answering learns, and the person, of course, that is being responded to also learns. You know, you now take things like SharePoint, use of Google Docs, you know, Zoom meetings, you know, YouTube. I found out that overall in the last 6 months, from my from the employee what's it called? Employee training. What's it called now? There's an employee training plan every beginning of the year, you know. But I found out that in the last 6 months, everybody just has courses on, but they're all online courses. Everybody has courses done and they're citing YouTube. Everybody has courses done, and I don't have any course in which they've gone for that is physical. I don't know if you understand me. And this is just in the last 6 months. Is there an improvement in their work, in their output? Yes. Have they learned something? Yes. So all in all, the use of technology right now, stemming from the COVID outbreak, the COVID outbreak.
Oh, we seem to lose your audio, sir. I think it's network.
It's not stable.
And the lockdown that followed it has been as professionals worldwide. Of course, did you get, hello?
Yes, we can hear you now. We can hear you.
Oh, okay, good. Maybe we should also speak about.
We can hear you now, sir.
We can speak
We can
about
hear you.
the downside of the technology, which is also that we now all have to depend on internet, and now is the time to know which internet service is actually actions as it used to be. Can you get in the response I'm supposed to be getting? Anyways, like I was saying, so there's now a big need to refocus onto technology, use technology. You get to now stress the entire ecosystem now for just sending off emails, and you now need to use it for web conferencing. You are going to have to find out what solution works best for you. Currently, as we speak, in my company, we have at least, I think we have about 3 providers. We're shuttling between 3 different service providers depending on the need. And we found out that that's in itself is also an issue. So my hope has been.
All right, I think we didn't have, we're not lucky with your network there.
Services.
Okay.
It will spread across whereby the MTNs of this world improve on their services as well, in as much as every other person down the food chain is also improving on their services. Well, I hope I did justice to a certain extent.
All right, thank you very much. Though the network didn't allow us to get much of you.
And I was talking about the network. I was talking about the network, that the network is the biggest disadvantage we will have in this movement into technology.
All right, yeah, but I think something that I think is good, that when you are automating, look for a solution that works best for you. Yeah, you may be looking at that, okay, the automation is very expensive to do and all sorts like, but as he said, as he rightly said, he even approved through email. You can just take your automation to email alone. Everything you want to do, send email, approve, and all sorts like that. And even the office that we have now, and even some phones like that, when you reply to certain messages over time, it will stack them. So you can actually see the trail of from the first to the last email. So just look for a solution that is cheaper and that works for you. Yeah, without wasting much time again, let me get to my Oga. It's my Oga. It's Mr. X Ayodeji Abitogun. So we take your submission.
You know, when you want to play politics, you call me your guy when everybody knows that you are your guy here. Okay. As far as this chapter is concerned, we report to you, and everything we do is by your permission. And yeah, starting with that, I must thank you as the chairman of the chapter. My good friend, Ima, it's good after many years. At the point you just abandoned me. Well, I think taking it from that angle, one of the advantage of virtual technologies is connecting people for workforce development. So we must thank the technology that brought my good friend and I, Ima Iyagudo, together this afternoon. Yeah, the topic is well chosen, and there's no better time to talk about it than now, because when you look at the situation we found ourselves before, like Ima said, and I understand clearly, there has been pleading, pushing, begging everyone, just adopt this technology, just use this simple thing for this process, especially for the organization where you worked before. And we collaborate at the point I was going there as a consultant to one of the government agencies. And I know the kind of ethic that you look fresh now. So it's part of the challenge in our society. So, but let's look at virtual technology for workforce development. Virtual technology has to do with having digital tools, basically, okay, to enhance productivity. Workforce development is about productivity. Workforce development is about developing people within your organization to enhance or to, how do I put it now, to help you achieve your set goals and set objectives. And your objectives are achieved by the people, by your team. So when you talk about the product, you talk about the 4 P's. You have the product, you have the people, you have the process, and you have the partner. In all this, the people play a major role, and they are the center of this workforce of your organization or your enterprise. So when you have the people out of this equation, the equation will never balance. So it becomes very, very important for us to develop these people that make up the workforce ecosystem. Now, when you look at it from the angle of the tools, yes, we've talked about available tools out there. I don't know if I have permission to share my screen. There are basic tools, and I try to be a bit practical with my own organization, what we're doing in
Yes,
our own. Yes, thank you very much. In our own little way, and I'll show you this this simple tool here. This simple tool. This is a simple document management system, okay, for in-house. And over here, you will see we have a lot of our corporate clients here, and exchange of correspondence between our organization and a whole lot of information are documented and captured. This tool is so simple and worked on by a team in the in-house, and it solves a lot of problem in terms of using this tool to drive our business processes. Like Dr. Kende talked about in terms of using digital tools for process automation, okay, which is one aspect of the workforce development. So in workforce development, you are looking at how best can we use digital tools to enhance our business processes, to optimize our business processes. How best can we acquire knowledge, which is the learning part of it, okay, to achieve our set objectives. So this is one tool. And another tool is here. This is Office 365, which some of us talk about, okay, and these are log of documents, sharing with partner, okay. I have people in different parts of the world that I can easily upload my document. I don't have to think about, oh, I need this mail, this file is too large, okay, they won't be able to download it. I can easily share it. So these are different tools that are available out there. Now, when you look at all this, what does it tell us? It tells us that we have tools that we can use to get what we need to get. However, do we have the right knowledge? Do we have the right capacity? Capacity is key, which is one major challenge. And this is why this webinar is very, very important to what we're doing and to our environment. When you look at the public sector, the private sector, and you ask yourself, how ready are we in terms of adoption of digital tools or digital technology? And this must start from the academia, okay? And I said the academia because this is where we'll call the repository of knowledge. And it's kind of disturbing or challenging, okay, when you have organization like, when you have a team of people from the academia saying they are not ready for e-learning. And I ask, why are you not ready for e-learning? Okay, so we have that adoption, okay, phobia, okay, in terms of adaptability, people moving from their normal way, what they are used to moving to new way of doing things. Another thing is the technical challenges. The technical challenges in terms of the tools that, or in terms of the broadband, okay, that will carry this whole visual platform that will make it available for us. And some of this is what we have experienced here, okay? In the course of this presentation, we've seen fluctuation in network, and in some offices, they had to dongle between 2, 3, 4 networks. Okay, we identify this as challenges. But should we, because of these challenges, not adopt virtual tools for productivity? No. So how do we go about it? We need to start small. We need to eat like when we're eating a big elephant. You're eating a big elephant, you don't eat it at once, you eat it bit by bit. And I think the first thing is simple thing as email, okay? Government organizations or private sector, there must be digital identity. So if I'm online and I'm using public domain, it poses some form of security threat to some extent. So let's have a domain that identifies us, or email that identifies us when we're in the cyberspace. Let's have, for government organization, I know that government working with Galaxy Backbone over the years, developed this email as far back as 10, 15 years ago, okay? But up to now, you still have a lot of government organizations that they don't even know they have such emails. Some have, they forget their password, okay? There was an organization that we worked with in about 2 months ago, and it became necessary that we need to register them for a particular service. And I told them, for you to get this service, you need to have a domain, you need to have a Nigerian domain, because if you don't have that, we'll not be able to register you. And it took like forever for us to achieve that. So if we have the policymakers having a strong policy that supports adoption of digital tools for productivity, I think it will work. Okay, and not just having a policy, enforcement of this policy is another thing. Sometimes last year, the federal government, through the head of service, issued a circular saying that all government organizations should digitize their records. If you ask me today, I'm not sure if we'll have up to 3 organizations or 5 ministries or agencies that have their document digitized. And for some of them that digitize the documents, are they using it for collaboration, for learning purpose? Can we have a situation whereby in government organizations we have a platform where you set up a knowledge base? So for every issue that has to do with IT, that has to do with promotion, that has to do with training, we have a repository such that over time, when you recruit new people to the workforce, they can easily go to this platform and access information and develop themselves. We've talked about what a whole lot of us achieved during COVID. I am one of them. I achieved a whole lot. During the lockdown, I focused on acquiring knowledge, okay, keep myself busy, kept myself busy, okay, and we are still doing it, okay. But locally, there must be that deliberate effort by all stakeholders to have to have a repository platform, okay, that will bring information about our environment, about our domain. If I want to join the public service, where do I go to? Okay, or as a rookie in the public sector or in the private sector, and I need to read about simple thing, file management, okay, based on our own environment. Can I get this done? Okay, these are critical issues that we need to focus on. And I hope that at the end of this whole webinar, we'll be able to put one or two things together and share with people that are concerned. I think it will go a long way in helping us to build our workforce. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Ayode Rex Abetogun, the immediate past chairman of NCS Abuja chapter. I have a little things that I take from that too, like connecting people with virtual technology, make us to connect people, and then we should have the right knowledge for the virtual technology. Then challenges should not stop the virtual technology adoption. Yeah, then it helps us with digital identity also. So thank you for that. I think we've been able to get one or two things from our panelists. Yeah, and now we'll give time for some contributions. I saw some people said, okay, Mr. Jide, okay, I think he has left. Then I see here, Sabayo Onimode, the former Secretary General of NCS Abuja Chapter 2. Thank you for showing up. Yeah, so the floor is open now for contributions or questions for our panelists. Maybe if you see, there's anything you want to raise when the panelist is talking, you can just unmute yourself and talk, or just raise up your hand, and I'll pick you to talk.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. I don't know if I can have the floor now.
Good afternoon. All right, you can go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, professional colleagues. My name is Bayo, and I think I want to start on a note of commendation for NCS Abuja chapter under the able leadership of Mr. Olusegun Alabi. Thank you for keeping the flag flying. We at this end appreciate you and the work that you and your team are doing. In terms of adopting digital technology for work, I think I want to align with all the guest speakers to say the time to do that is right now, and there is no better time to start. Maybe I would say the best time to start was 1 year ago, and the other better time is now. If organizations have not done it, this is the time to catch up. I want to take it from what my chairman said, Chairman Conference, National Conferences Committee, so that people don't mix it up, Mr. Rex. What Mr. Rex said about how best we can do it as a government entity. I know that for people who do business with government, you will realize that there's a whole lot to be done in terms of how we are adopting technology to ease the work that we're doing. Look at what the great feats that organizations like the Corporate Affairs Commission have been able to attain. Even in the midst of COVID, they are really now data, and people who actually see how best the adoption of technology has helped them to ease their work. I do note too that there are other government entities that are doing a whole lot in terms of technology. But for those who have not started, of course, there's no, they shouldn't lose hope just yet. They can start right now at this point and then pick it up from there. And for the professionals in the organization, please don't get tired. keep pushing into management, keep pushing into your management, encourage management to adopt technology for the work that you do. And in the long run, that organization and Nigeria as a country will be the best for it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that add-on. Yeah. All right. Any other contribution or questions, please? Nobody's raising up hand, but if you have anything to say, you can just unmute yourself and talk.
I think one person is
Anyone?
there's one hand up.
Oh, okay. All right, you can talk. If your hand is up, okay. Sorry. Okay, Madam Voke Onesi. Yeah.
My name is Njinawara.
Oh, okay.
I am not a professional like you people. I joined listening. I enjoyed the presentations, but at the point I got lost, even from the very beginning, because the professional languages people are using, I don't even understand a whole lot of the things that I said. So I don't know whether the next presentation, you can bring down your language. They're not like medical doctors that will use all those blah, 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 blah. So that we that are following people can also understand. Thank you very much.
Oh, apology about that, sir. And we didn't use too much big language, but anyway, if it's big for you, apology for that.
He's talking about Rex. It is Rex big language that is confusing him. Because doctor spoke baby language.
This is why I run away from you. How can you say I'm the one speaking big language? Anyway, okay, we need to bring it down to our environment. Yeah. What we're saying, the topic here is leveraging on virtual technologies for workforce development. And when you talk about virtual technology has to do with your digital tools, your mobile phone, your laptop, your computer, your application. So these are in different forms, both your hardware and your software, okay? How do we use all these to promote productivity in the work environment? And when we talk about work environment, it could be government office, it could be private office, it could be your personal office. How do you leverage on these tools available to be able to promote productivity or enhance productivity within your office? Okay, how do you sit at home and you share a document with your staff in another location without telling him to travel all the way from Port Harcourt to Abuja just to come and submit a document? I have a friend that travel almost every 2 weeks to Abuja. And I said, anytime you come around, I always tell him that, Oga, you are here to submit a document. Really? Okay, and you know the funniest part of it is that he will send that document to me here. I will print the document will be waiting for him. He will fly down and pick the document and go and submit. So yesterday I gave him a proposal. I said, you know what? My office can render this service on your behalf. Whatever you want to submit, outsource it to us. Okay, and this is where some people will say, I have this Igbo sense. It's part of it. Outsource it to us. If you send it to us, we'll print it, we'll bind it. In fact, if you want us to, whatever this thing you want us to use, we'll go and submit it for you. Yes. Get acknowledgement and get it across to you. So the simple thing here is you can use these digital technologies. And I'm glad that person that asked question joined. Through this platform, you are learning at the moment. And that is one of the things we're talking about. Using digital technology for workforce development. I'm sure after this whole meeting or after this webinar, you will have learned 1 or 2 things that you can apply in your organization. And that means we're making progress. So in a nutshell, that's what we're saying. Don't mind the Ima that is speaking big English for small thing.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
I never knew that the phone, the laptops, the digital tools we are talking about. Until now
it
you
starts
explain
from there.
Okay.
But at least
Right,
knowledge starts from there.
True.
Thank you very much.
Okay. All right, thanks, sir. Yeah, okay. Mrs. Foke Oniezi.
Yeah. Good day, everyone. It's been a pleasure part of this webinar. It was quite informative. And I want to thank all the speakers and then also our chairman, chapter chairman. Well, my little contribution is that the government has done a lot to see that we transition into a digital era. In fact, there is a deadline for 2021 that all government organizations should be able to work virtually and digitalize all their processes. But there is one observation, or rather, I would call it an advice, if the government can get to hear this. I think the CEO, the chief executives of government offices, the permanent secretaries, the ministers, and those people who have the sole authority to endorse and make funds available should be given special training in this digitalization process. Because, okay, like now, the government has set up a platform where we have teams from government offices that are trained to drive the digitalization processes in government organizations. They started with Abuja, with the organizations in Abuja. Now, these teams would not go far. They can't work, they can't achieve much if they bring their ideas to the table that this is what the government has said, this is compulsory that we have to meet get all our processes digitalized by this deadline. When you do that, the DFA is there to tell you there is no money. The chief executive may not even understand what you are saying. And so you see all these trainings and advocacy will just go and end up somewhere. It will not go far. So the people who are actually responsible to make this transformation work are those key persons, like the director of finance, the head of the organization, the direct head should be trained and given, like, they should even be sanctioned. If your organization has not gone digital by so time, there should be sanctions. That's the only way it will work. It's very important because the government is the sole provider of so many services. Stakeholders, even the digital economy will depend on having government services digitalized. So I think my contribution is that those decision makers, those who can actually, who will actually say, okay, go ahead, let the contractors, those who are going to implement this, get the right one approved and start off the process. And we're going to see changes. But if the heads and those who are going to find the money, the procurement people, are not trained, then it will not go far.
All right. Okay, thank you very much, Mrs. Foke. Mrs. Foke Oniezi is our Director, Membership Drive and Welfare. Thank you for your submission. Then I'll take Miss Elizabeth Ikio. You have the floor now.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, clearly.
Good evening. Good afternoon. All right. Thank you so much for this webinar. Really learned a lot, even as an IT person. My initial question was, how do we leverage technology in an organization where there's no power, no bandwidth, no internet, everything is lacking? And at least we saw how it is. Even with the internet, we see faulty. So I don't know, that would be, let me just say, a theoretical question. Then my second question is especially to the second speaker. who said all organizations or legal corporate organizations should have websites. I want to know, is a website still relevant in this age where everything is on Instagram or Facebook? You see most organizations, some don't even have a working website, but they are featured, they have an Instagram page where everything is sent. So is website really relevant at this point? Hello?
Hi, I can hear you. We can hear you, ma'am.
I'm not on I can't hear myself. I don't know if it's clear. And I still want to agree with everybody. I still remember the first year. I can't remember the application we used, but it was time. I think before we could even settle down, the time had 1 hour had passed. Everybody's video was on, and it was so ugly. I just didn't enjoy it. We have to use another time again. You know, I think I can't remember the app, but it was limited time. So before we could even settle down to do anything, the time was over. So they had to do the meeting the next day with the director telling everybody what to giving instruction on how to go about it. So I still believe that organizations, I mean, leaders should be trained on how to use this technology before we even go into using this technology. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much for that. Yeah, okay, the question was directed to the second speaker, that's Dr. Kehinde Samuel. Then, okay, let me do it this way, that our panelists, you can just take your parting shots with this, then you can answer the question if the question is directed to you or you have answers to it. So let me take it from Mr. Ima. We take it in that line. So okay, just give us your parting shot.
Okay, the truth of the matter is this. There's nobody that is 100% ready. There's nobody that's 100% ready. There's nobody that is ever going to be 100% ready. There has to be the zeal to want to start. And that zeal to want to start is actually top bottom. Management must be convinced that technology is the way to go. Anything outside of that is tantamount to hitting your head against a brick wall. Now, once management is now indeed ready to get involved, then you now start to look at the different things that come up, the funding, the project timelines and everything. You can actually work something out. The last thing you should expect is that there is a one solution that fits all. Okay? Anybody tell you that is just lying to you. You take what it is that you can do, how you can do, the way you can do, whilst focusing on set standards and set precepts. Okay? It's not as if you should just start tangenting off. There has to be a standard to which you are following. There has to be some level that you are trying to track and get to. If you want to start it as basic as everybody in the company must use only official emails, something as basic as that still does not happen as we speak. Everybody must use the company portal for disseminating. There are simple basic steps that you need to achieve. And once you set out the targets, you train your staff accordingly. I'm very certain that you can move forward with this. But I'm saying that it's not going to be without its challenges. Don't think that it will come without challenges.
All right, thank you so much, sir. Yeah, okay, Dr. Okay, it's a fit talk, you don't know. Yeah. Mr. Victor, you don't know. I hope it's okay. Dr. Kehinde, you can take up the question and your parting line.
Okay. Once again, I say good afternoon, professional colleagues. Starting from the question, there is a question here. With an organization that have not started fully, or digitalize their processes, where do they start from? I think Mr. Emma already started by answering that the starting point is the will to want to. And after the will to want to, then the organization should start with the basics, which is the email communication. Enforce every communication via the email. And when I say email, I'm not referring to the public email. I'm referring to the internal email, like our official email, which is usually on the web something, on the .ng of the organization anyway. So that's the starting point. Then after that, you could now start, depending on the type of services that the organization render, you know which of the tools you need to learn first. Maybe the ERP tools to help the digitalization process movement. And for organizations who are customer facing, then you need to improve the processes that are registered on the website so that you reduce the on-site visits and processes. That way, you would have, one, developed the employee that they are now knowledgeable about how to do things. And at the same time, you're improving your productivity, there's efficiency, the turnover time is increased. And like I said, for organizations that are involved in revenue generation, they would have also been able to increase revenue generation. There's an example I want to give. Before now that we used to buy recharge cards. You buy a recharge card, you scratch it, then you key in the codes to load recharge card. That's what we used to do. But now you found out that from wherever you can do *737 or go to one website and buy recharge card. You will agree with me that you load recharge cards more now than you were loading when you were scratching. What have they done? They have leveraged on technology to improve on their processes, to improve on productivity, and they are generating more revenue because you are now buying card more because there's ease of doing business. Okay? Yeah. And there was another person that asked that what is the difference if you already have Twitter and you have what is the second one? And what is different if you already have that? Why do you need a website? Okay. For me, you cannot move your business to your social handle. There's a limit to what you can communicate via your social handle. Officially, where the bulk of your products, services should be found should be your website. There is a lot you can put on your website, but there's a limit to what you can put on your social handle. In conclusion, from my side, the need for technology in our day-to-day activity cannot be overemphasized. The earlier we embrace this, the better for us, the better for all. And once we are ready for this adoption, we'll begin to see the ripple effect even on the national economy, because some private organizations render services that some government organizations also render. But you find people patronizing the private organization where you will even pay more than coming to the government organization. Why? Because the ease of doing business with private organizations is there. But with government organization, you have to go through a lot of rigor. You go do this, you do then you go around with papers. You are told, come and submit this. You have to go and submit it physically. With private organization, you can send everything via email. So people will prefer to do business with the private sector. So I think for me, as a wrap, digitalization is the way to go. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that. Yeah, Mr. Alex Abitogo, let's take your line too. Yeah. Oh, okay. I think it's out. Maybe it's network or something. All right.
Out, sir. I'm with you.
Oh, really? Okay.
I guess he might intentionally mute me from his own end. Okay. Yes, he has been working. He has been working against me all along. All right. Talking about digitalization or digitization of records. Okay. For me, I align myself with what Dr. Kende Ajakaye said in terms of it cannot be overemphasized. And it is very, very important that we take deliberate action at all levels, not just government alone, okay, at all levels, across sectors, across industries in Nigeria, including ranging from public service to private organization to industries like agriculture, manufacturing. There are so many tools that are available out there. And when you seek for knowledge, you get more. So I encourage everyone, employees, employers, to first embrace the learning culture. Because once you embrace learning culture, then, and you must have an open mind. You must have an open mind to absorb knowledge. Like I keep saying that when there was an intervention project we were doing at Nnamdi Azikiwe University, 2004, 5, 6, and when we started this, I mean, of course, the projects were in university environment. And when we started this, I could remember when we finished the infrastructure, moving to the knowledge creation and knowledge transfer, a lot of people were skeptical. They don't want to come near the system. And why? Because they believe, I mean, a lot of them said, I have this notion that when I start in front of computer, it will tell me everything about me. So yesterday that I lied to my mom, the computer will say, oh, you lied yesterday. So that phobia made a lot of people to stay away from computer in the first place. So when you look at it from that angle, there's always this phobia. But there must be a deliberate effort first to get the people's mind, okay, build up towards digital technology adoption. There must be enough awareness from the government, and there must be enforcement, like the previous speaker said. There must be enforcement, okay? Organizations from top down. What it will do, like Kenny mentioned, was you're going to have more money for revenue generating organizations. Imagine if you have a lot of people online. Of course, it means that some of the physical threats that we'll see on daily basis will move online. Of course, some of them are there at the moment. So it creates more money for people in the cybersecurity sector. Okay, and because there's need for more knowledge, it creates more money for people in the academia, okay, in terms of knowledge creation, content creation. Because I want to sell my product online, because I want people to know more about my product, it creates opportunity for people in the marketing space. So if you are an analog marketer and you are not embracing the digital marketing strategy, then you know that you're going to be out of the system. And for you that you are a business leader or professional, okay, it's an opportunity for you to equally build your network, okay, and explore their opportunities out there. For employees, they will be able to acquire more knowledge. So I can tell you on and on, a whole lot of things that this will bring to our domain. However, looking at the challenges that it poses, government need to do more. In some countries, it is a right. It is a right. Digital access is a right in some countries. In Nigeria today, we are still battling with human rights, not to talk of digital access or digital rights. Okay, so, so these are some of the things that we need to start looking at. There are some countries that because you don't have internet, you can sue government. But if I sue FCT minister for fluctuation in my friend's network over there, I'm sure some people on this platform will even say, this guy is even taking it too far. So, so that's it. That's it. Government need to come up and create that environment. There are a lot of private investors, people that have equally been working with the Nigeria Communications Commission for the broadband access. But you find out that to lay a fiber cable in some states is a challenge. The state government will levy you, they will give you, you need to pay tax. Okay. In some environment, you lay cable, some bad guys will go there and cut your fiber cable, deny you access. So there must be enough awareness, there must be enough orientation across board, okay, in terms of what we tend to benefit from this whole thing. And when we do that, I believe we can as well contribute more into the GDP of the country. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, all our panelists, for your submission. And at the end of the day, we are going to come up with a report that will be on our website, just like we did in the past concerning this Techies Hangout. Now, Dr. Mohammed Ali Siraju is here as going to represent the national president as the chief host. Thank you for waiting. He called me that he's driving, so he had to park somewhere to make this speech to us. So, Dr. Siraju, we can take you now, sir.
It's okay. Thank you, my chair.
This network should
a very good afternoon, and I've been following. Okay,
Oh. Okay, maybe you can take your video off.
Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear. Well, it's season. Maybe you can take your video off.
Yeah, maybe take off the video, yes.
Okay. Okay, hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, thank you very much. A very good afternoon to all my professional colleagues. On behalf of the President and the entire National Executive Council Society, I want to sincerely thank all the panelists. The presentation has been wonderful. With the few minutes that I just parked along on my way to Duse from Katsina State, I followed up the discussion. There were quite a lot of interesting things that have been discussed, more especially the part whereby it says we have a limit that we can put on our social media handles. And at the same time, with what the last speaker have just said, there is no limit to learning, meaning that as long as we're into this, whatever we are, there is always need for us to learn and to relearn, to train ourselves and to retrain ourselves. So on behalf of the National Executive Council, as I said, I bring you a very warm greeting. And I want to sincerely thank all the panelists and all the Abuja chapter executives, more especially the chairman, by taking this giant step in making sure that this kind of programs have been done. At the same time, I want to thank all the members that find time to join us to contribute, ask questions, listen, and give different type of contributions. And these are the kind of things we really want. As I always used to tell people, I always used to tell them that this society or this profession is ours. It's our all collective responsibility to come together and make sure that we move it forward. It's not for me, or the chair, the Abuja chapter chairman, or any other person. It belongs to each and every one of us. So it should be a collective responsibility to each and every one of us to always try as much as we can to find time. And whenever we have been called to come and contribute our own quota in the development of our profession, we should try as much as we can to do that, just like what the panelists have done. I know most of them are very busy, but with their very tight schedule, they find time to be online, to share their experiences, to share their knowledge with their professional colleagues. And I want to sincerely thank them once again. And thank you once again. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to you. Thank you, my chairman.
All right, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Dr. Mohammed Ali Surajo, the Deputy National President of Nigerian Computer Society. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, my chairman. So I can continue with my journey now.
All right, sir. Please drive safe, sir.
Thank you,
when
sir.
you get to your destination, you let us know.
It's okay, sir. Maybe I'm very close to Dutse. Maybe in the next 20 minutes, I think I should be at Dutse.
You shouldn't be doing this trip. You should be traveling on cyberspace.
Thank you, my chairman. Don't worry. Next time I travel via cyberspace.
Thank you,
you.
sir. All right, thank you so much, sir. All right, our time is well spent, so we have an announcement. I think our General Secretary is out. Now, it's on the feed, maybe it's not, it doesn't have enough network to stay on. Yeah. So, but the announcement we have, as many of us that are CPN members, I think CPN IT Assembly is coming very soon. I think in the next 2 weeks. Yeah. So let us try to participate. And it's an election year. We can vote the choice and the person that we choose for ourselves, that we take our profession forward. Yeah, the NCS annual conference too is in July. Yeah, let us be preparing for that. Then next, in the second week in April, we'll be having Abuja chapter general meeting. So let us members make ourselves available for that. And people those that are not members yet, we call on you to become members and join the train of our development. Yeah, now I'll call on Madam Fisi, the Vice Chairman, Abuja chapter, Ms. Mary Chukwemeka for food.
Hello, good evening, professional colleagues. Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
Good evening, professional colleagues. It's been an amazing evening, an hour and 30 minutes. I want to thank, on behalf of the executives, want to thank the panelists that made up time to grace this Techies Hangout version 3. More so to the participants that made up time. I know it's a work week, and between 3 and 3:30, 2 and 3:30 is a whole lot of time. We sincerely want to appreciate you people. I will add mine from the health sector. As much as we are all adopting the virtualization or digitalization of having a good workforce, we didn't talk about the ergonomics, because we found out that most of us actually sit for long in Zoom meetings, doing emails, doing everything. I did add that in the midst of that, 2-3 hours, try and get up, stretch, and take a walk, so that at the end of all this, you know, those are one of the challenges, the part of health that we didn't make mention of, so that no matter how well or how much the virtualization or digitalization is looking, one of these effects is on our health, because we end up sitting for so long, and before you know, most of us develop back pain. And to that end, I would like to encourage every one of us, as much as we attend these virtual meetings, we should try as much as possible in 2-3 hours, give yourself a break, grab a cup of coffee, whatever you need to do stretch and come back for the meeting. On this note, we sincerely want to appreciate every one of you. The chairman has made some announcements. Apparently, the Nigerian Computer Society Conference comes up in August. I think August 4th to 9th.
Yeah,
I think it's sometime August, not July. So on this note, I want to thank everyone and say have a good evening. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Once again, we appreciate everyone that has participated in to this Techies Hangout. We will be having further editions of it, and how you get the information for this, we also get information. This program was streamed live, and you can still go to YouTube and watch and rewatch again. So thank you very much for attending this, and we hope that you have a good the rest of the week. Nice. So thank you very much.
Is there no refreshment? Virtual refreshment.
There's nothing about virtual inside the refreshment.
Okay, can you help us with that? You know that you have the technology.
We want our refreshment, please.
Please, there must be physical refreshment. Item 7 and item 15.
Thank you very much, everyone. Bye-bye.
All right. Then we go to closing prayer, which is the national pledge. So let us take it all together. I pledge to Nigeria, my country, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Nigeria with all my strength, to defend our unity and uphold our glory.
Honor and glory.
So help me God. So help us God.
Amen.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody. Rex, I'm in Abuja. We'll see.